Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your June bonus reading. We're just going to jump right in here. I have a little bit of a time crunch this month, so I'm just going to be doing a Celtic cross. That's what I've done for every single sign, like a short Celtic cross, although they've been almost as long as they usually are, so my plan didn't really work, but that's okay, Leo. We're just going to go for it. Also, I'm giving away 4 free readings, so if you want to enter to win a free reading, you can do so by leaving a comment down below and also going to the link down below and signing up. If you don't want to sign up, then you can't win. So you don't need to leave a comment saying that you don't want to sign up. I don't care. I'll just delete your comment. And also, if you're going to say that I don't do readings, well, it's my channel, so I can do whatever the hell I want, and I'm giving them away for free, so just make sure that my name has a little check mark next to it, and also only go to the pinned comment to sign up. I will never charge for a reading, but if I want to give free I don't know why this has been such an issue, but just so you know, if I want to give something away, then I can do it. So there you go, before you leave the comment. But anyway, Leo, here in your current general energies, you have the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like you're planting seeds for the future and, kind of really focused on turning your life around is what it looks like to me. Even if your life isn't bad, like I'm not suggesting your life is, horrible or anything like that. But, I think that, maybe for some of you it is. I hope not. But what I would say is, I feel like you're just trying to turn your life around in some way. It could be just for general improvement purposes. It could just be to, make something better, to make more money or whatever it is that you're doing. You have 2 6s here. You're not the only sign that's had 2 6s. And, they're not connected. In a reading, I would prefer 2 6s to be touching. That's, to me, that's like true, like the true good thing, right? In a reading. But you do have 2 6s here. You have the 6 of Swords as well. And 2 6s to me is like confirmation for your path. You have the Queen of Cups as your crossing energy here. And the crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you, Leo. And what I will say here with the Queen of Cups is that, I'm wondering, like, I feel like there are moments where you need to really listen to what your heart is telling you to do. I feel if you're not listening to your heart, then things will slow down. I feel like if you are listening to your heart, things will speed up. So, that could be something that you're not only are you going to be learning this like right now, I feel like this could be something that you learn over the next few months, that you really need to kind of trust your intuition more, that you really need to listen to what you are, what you're kind of like it's kind of weird because I feel like saying the word instincts, it's like that gut feeling, that gut instinct that you have when you meet a person, not just love here, we're talking about like in any area of your life, or, before you get involved in a business or a new job, it's like that gut feeling. I feel there's something here about like really needing to learn to trust that. You have the 8 of Cups here in the area of your thoughts. And one thing I will say is we go down to the Devil. I'm pretty sure your last reading for June was all about like being careful of someone who's toxic. In the area of your closest relationships, you have the 2 of Swords here. It wouldn't surprise me, again, if, continuing on from that reading that I just did for you, it wouldn't surprise me if some of you will be cutting someone toxic out of your life. Again, that whole reading, I'll try to find it and I'll try to link it down below as well if you haven't watched it yet. But what I will say is that reading, there was definitely a warning about like a toxic person. And so some of you could be removing or, it's coming up in the area of your thoughts, like thinking about walking away from something that is clearly toxic. So, that definitely could be a possibility here with that 8 of Cups. The other thing is, I feel that this is just anything toxic. It doesn't even have to be like all that toxic. It's like if you watch too much TV, maybe you're saying, I need to stop doing this so I can build my business, or maybe there's something else that's become like a habit that you're changing. The good news is again, I feel like you're really looking at how these things can change your life and, probably removing them or cutting them out with the 2 of Swords. In the area of your foundation, you have the Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles is about needing to kind of like get a move on here. You definitely need to get moving. We literally go Wheel of Fortune to the 6 of Swords. And so I feel like there's an opportunity to really turn things around in your life right now, like I already said at the beginning of the reading. But, it's going to probably require leaving some things behind or, making some big changes. I do think that for a lot of us, not everyone, but for a bunch of signs, that one thing that I've really noticed is just this energy of maybe. It's like, I wouldn't say you're like totally removing something that's been supporting you for a long time, but, it kind of gives me that feeling. It's almost like, I'll just tell you, like doing these shorter readings, I haven't really been making them that much shorter because, I don't know, it's like in the back of my mind, I don't know, I'm that type of person where I come up with like a routine and I like stick to it. I don't really, even if I have to because of time, because I have a lot of things I have to work on this weekend and take care of, but, which is kind of limiting my time, but it's like still in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, what happens if I do this? Everybody will leave. It's like I still have those thoughts where it's like, oh, people are going to be mad and they're going to leave the channel, which is totally ridiculous, right? But, I think that you could be having those thoughts right here. It's like, maybe that's not the thought, but, I'm just saying, like, maybe you think like, oh, if I do this, my boss will fire me, or it's like, I kind of get that type of thinking here. And, but really, I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is like saying, no, it's like actually, the only thing that will come out of this situation is probably like more freedom or more success, not less. So, I feel like maybe it's like has to do with you stepping more into this like abundant thinking. We have the Seven of Pentacles here. Seven of Pentacles is coming up in the past position, and the Seven of Pentacles says that you could be making a change. Seven of Pentacles is very specifically a change in direction. He's kind of looked at what he has grown in his life, and he's just moving on to something new, which is what you're doing right here. And then area of the very near future, you have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is a change in your fortunes. And I kind of feel this is going to be a change for the better. Although I like to remind people, as much as I love the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune is always spinning in our life. And it can spin in any direction, positively or negatively. But the trick with the Wheel of Fortune is that we have to not only control the wheel with our vibrations, thinking more positively, things like that, but there are other things we can do to make ourselves more lucky. We can educate ourselves about whatever it is that we do in life or whatever it is that we want in life. By learning about it, you're making yourself more lucky because you're able to see more opportunity. We can also be at the center of the wheel. Good things and bad things will always happen in life. When you're at the center of the wheel, you're just paying attention to cycles that have already happened in your life, and you're just paying attention for them again. And when you see a cycle that's about to repeat, if it's negative, you get ahead of it and you stop it from happening. If it's positive, you double down on it and you make it even more positive, right? So, this is what it means to like live on purpose. And, I feel for a lot of you that over the next few months, you have the Devil card. This could be part of it. You could be cutting toxic things, toxic people out of your life. And kind of the feeling I get here is I don't really feel this is good or bad. I kind of feel like it's a mixture of both, honestly. I feel that you could be seeing some things that are uncomfortable. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel you could be seeing some things in relationships that are uncomfortable. And I'm not just talking about love here. I'm talking about, every type of relationship. And you could be seeing like things that are toxic, things you don't like, and you could be removing these things. Same thing, things about yourself, things about the business that you have or your career. And again, this is a good thing because the kind of like the message I get here in your reading is that you're more living on purpose instead of just like, most people just live their lives. They just wander around and things just happen to them. And, they're always surprised, right? And I feel like you're like, no, I'm taking control of this situation. Even with the Two of Swords here, it's like, there's a pair of scissors here, cutting something out. I almost feel like you are just taking control of not just, closest relationships, but pretty much everything. And you're really kind of deciding like, no, I want to live on purpose. I want to feel like I'm more in control of my life. Like I can control the direction and like I can control my destiny. I feel like these are the things that you are saying. So, I do feel that here. The other thing with the Two of Swords is I would be careful. Like Two of Swords is, to me, it can be a card of being at a stalemate, not being able to see eye to eye with someone. So if you have a relationship like that, Two of Swords is a good card for mediation. So it could say that either you are mediating two people or that you need mediation, like if you're in a relationship, or it can just say that, it's kind of like one of those cards where, in a relationship, let's just say you are in a good relationship, right? Or if you end up in one over the next few months, Two of Swords can represent like two people It's like, imagine if there was a statue right here. It's like both people are looking at the same issue, but if you're both looking at a statue from a different perspective, you're seeing something different, right? And so it's popping into my head with that Two of Swords. If you are in a relationship and if you have an argument, don't let this argument get out of hand. It's popping into my head. That's why I'm saying it. It's like you could be arguing with someone where it's like you are looking at things the same way. You're looking at the same thing, but just from a different perspective. So, maybe that'll help. But, especially if you're with a good person, like, don't allow an argument ruin something that could be very positive. I think if you could see it from their side and then, explain that, then maybe it could avoid this from happening. You have the Six of Swords here. Six of Swords moving on to calmer shores. This is coming up in the area of your future feelings. So, again, moving on. I feel you're kind of like leaving some things behind and having a new beginning in life or creating a new beginning. And even your outcome is kind of a card of control. You have the Temperance card. Temperance it's not really a card of control, but it is a card of control because it represents being able to take control of a situation and being able to turn it into something else. So I feel for a lot of you, this could be you taking a situation and turning it from a negative into a positive. You can also turn a positive into a negative with the Temperance card. But this reading is really telling me that you have the power to turn your life around or to live your life on purpose. So, pretty straightforward is what I would say. And I would just take control to do it. But let's see. We're going to clarify this and see what's going on here. Again, the link for the contest is down below, and also just leave a comment down below if you want to enter. And again, like I said, if you don't want to, don't. I never thought that giving something away would be such a problem, but there you go. Let's see. With the Queen of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, you have the Devil. Yes. Some of you, number one, I do feel this could be a Capricorn, by the way. If you are looking for love, it could be like a water sign with Capricorn or Capricorn with water in their chart. It could be an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo as well with that Wheel of Fortune. But, I do feel like there could be love coming in for you here. So the Devil might not be that bad. Again, if it is, for some of you, I would definitely be careful, of a person who is devilish. Let's see. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Ace of Cups. Definitely could be love coming in for you here. Love might be on your mind here, or you could be thinking about walking away from a love situation. I don't know. I kind of really feel like some of you are thinking about walking towards fulfillment because Eight of Cups is like, normally there's a missing cup. The Eight of Cups is no fulfillment. The next card, Nine of Cups, is total fulfillment. So I feel like some of you, regardless of what situation you're in, if you're walking away from things, I think it's because you're not getting what you deserve out of it. And it might not be love. It could be a business you're not getting paid your worth for or something like that. And I feel like you're walking towards things that are much more fulfilling. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Wands, two aces. So, two aces here is a definite yes to any question that I haven't answered. But the Ace of Wands is a very passionate new beginning, or it could be you starting something new here with the Ace of Wands. And I kind of feel like you need to get started. The Knight of Pentacles is no movement. So, if you're thinking about moving towards something that feels like it could be fulfilling, I would get going, whatever it is. It could be a business, a person, a situation. I feel like there needs to be some effort put in here. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yes, I mean, a card of mastering things, mastering your life in a lot of ways, mostly because I feel like you're taking control. Eight of Pentacles is also putting work into the right things. He is only working on one thing on the Eight of Pentacles traditionally. He's creating those pentacles, and that's the only thing that he's doing. So he's very, very focused about what he wants to create in life, and he's mastering something. So I kind of feel like a lot of you are mastering the control of your life or your destiny. With the Devil, you have the Nine of Pentacles here. That makes it a little bit more positive. Again, I would still be careful of a toxic person in your energy because it showed up in your last reading as well, but or the one before. I can't remember which one it was, but this could also just be independence, being independent. I kind of feel like you could be attracting a very independent person. Personally, I think that two very independent people together is a great relationship. It's like if two people who don't need each other but want to be together, that's it really, it doesn't get any better than that. So, it could be a very independent person. I also feel you could be, that you are very, very focused on increasing your finances for a lot of you, but that just makes sense. With the Two of Swords, you have the Five of Cups here. It's like regrets. I would say don't regret also not listening to your intuition. Again, if I'm not trying to scare you. I don't think tarot should scare you. To me, tarot isn't a prison sentence, as I always say. It is loose guidance at best. I think way too many. I do this for a living basically, and I think way too many people take it way too seriously. Tarot just points out opportunities and things you should pay attention to, and then that's it. Should be like the cherry on top of your life, right? Just a little bit extra is how I see it. And with that Two of Swords, I would just say, like, don't regret not listening to yourself. I always tell the story of this guy I used to work with, right? I used to work with this guy. Everybody loved this guy. I didn't like him from day one. And, then I kind of warmed up to him over time. Like, over a few months, I was like, okay, he's not that bad. And this guy, he ended up stealing $1,000 worth of merchandise one day, just up and stole a bunch of merchandise. And he gave a bunch of merchandise to a customer that was like, he was buddy-buddy with. So it's like, I was right. My gut was right. Everybody was always like, oh, why don't you like him? He's like the greatest, thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, I never liked this guy, right? And so again, don't be like me is what I'm saying. It's like if you feel weird about something, it doesn't even have to be a person, but it could be a person, right? I would say don't regret it in the future. With the the Six of Swords, you have the Star. Yes, love it. Definitely moving towards fulfillment. Definitely moving towards your North Star. Again, makes sense to me. Pluto's going to be in your opposite sign next year in Aquarius, and I think for everyone that we should be working towards some sort of North Star with Pluto and Aquarius, like something that can inspire other people, or even if we are not living a life that could be inspiring, even if we just do something very small, it doesn't have to be anything big, that could just inspire one person in your life. I think if you do that, you're going to be working with the energy, you are going to be rewarded. So that's why I talk about this all the time, because when we work with the energy, we get the rewards, plain and simple. And it does not have to be much. I always tell people, you could just be inspiring one person in your life, or not in your life, doesn't matter, and one person is enough. With the Temperance card, you have the Six of Pentacles here. Yeah, there is like an element of balance in this reading. Six of Pentacles is equal give and take, but it's also, I think this comes down to the control that you're going to be feeling in your life. Like Six of Pentacles is being able to put energy into something and then being able to get it to grow. It's like if it's a business, you plant a bunch of seeds with the Six of Pentacles and then it grows. Or like some things work, some things don't. And the trick with the Six of Pentacles is to double down on what works. Same thing with love. Six of Pentacles to me in love is more like the positive. There's a negative here, could be breadcrumbing, but the positive way to use the Six of Pentacles is like tennis. You hit the ball to their side, let them return the favor. It's like kind of more of like an equal give and take in relationships where, and again, I always tell people, like, don't whip out a notebook and be like, oh, today at 4:00, I gave him a hug and he didn't hug me back. That's not 50-50. Or today I made him dinner and he didn't make me dessert. That's not what we're talking about. Don't be a nerd about this. Don't write a list of every little thing that's happening in the relationship. But for the most part, do you get some sort of return here? And I always tell people as well, if you're not, open your mouth, right? Because you don't want to be running around out here on these streets looking for a relationship right now. Trust me, it's like a freaking war zone out here, okay? So what I would say is if you're in something positive, they're not fulfilling you in some way, open your mouth, use your words, tell them what you need, right? And then if they don't, then it's time to leave, right? But again, if it's a good person, I suggest giving them a chance, because again, really, it's like you're not going to find something like that much better probably if you leave, because again, everybody out here has a bunch of daddy issues or something. I don't know what's going on nowadays, right? So, I would be careful. But what I would say here is this is a good reading. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.